John Becker, The Curse of Sylvia. Story by Mystery Inc. Disclaimer: this is a work of fiction and should be treated as such. All the characters, businesses, places, events and incidents in this book are the product of the writer's imagination. All demons' names introduced in the story are solely the author's unique creation. Chapter 1: The Past. In 1864, on a hill far up the mountains, was a house that the Osborne family lived in since 1850. They had a daughter named Sylvia that was 12 years old at the time. She was a unique child in her way. Jensen, Sylvia's mother, didn't like her that much. She would always beat her for no reason, but especially if she decided to go into the basement where she kept a lot of books, candles, bones, and drawings of shadows hiding behind trees. Joshua, Sylvia's father, was a carpenter and a farmer. He spent most of his time making furniture for people who requested it. He had 4 horses to help him around with his carriage. He loved his little girl very much, but most of the time he was not at home, and when he was at home he was either making something or in the fields planting. Sylvia stopped going to school because of her mother. The townspeople called her a witch. Nobody wanted to talk to Sylvia because her mother was known as a witch. At night Sylvia would see shadows moving around in the house, especially when it was midnight. Sylvia's parents used lamps in the house. Outside was pitch black. Only if the moon was bright outside became a little bit visible. Sylvia slept upstairs while her parents slept downstairs. Every night Sylvia would tell them that she saw a woman in a sleeveless black dress watching her from the doorway. Her mother would put her in the attic and lock the door whenever she talked nonsense, as she described it. Sylvia was so scared one night that she jumped through the attic window and fell, knocking herself out. Joshua was just coming home on his carriage. When he saw his daughter unconscious on the ground, he threw some water on her and brought her into the house. The following morning, Joshua was so upset with Jensen, so he burned her books while Sylvia watched. His wife was perturbed, so she shouted at Sylvia, "Do you see what you have done? You couldn't just stay away from the basement? You are not my daughter, do you hear me?" She slapped her daughter. Poor Sylvia knelt and cried. Her mother only made matters worse. Now, Joshua was even more upset. He went for her prized possession. It was the black book. When he entered the room, she was standing beside the bed with her back facing him. Joshua tried to take the book from her, but she pushed him 5 feet across the room with one hand. Fear trickled down his spine as he watched a woman's shadow with white glowing eyes appeared from behind his possessed wife. He ran out of the house and saw a lot of people. Father Sylvia crawled toward him. "Don't leave me here alone," Sylvia begged. When he looked at her, she had no nose. It was a demon. She was not his daughter. He ran into the fields where he saw his beloved daughter being pulled by an invisible entity. He took out his Bible, knelt, and prayed. When he opened his eyes, his daughter was floating in midair in front of him. "Sylvia, wake up!" He shook her. "Wake up, my child!" She woke up gasping for air, and then she hugged her father tightly.
Buy this ebook today and read the full version. The ebook is available in 3 formats: PDF, EPUB, and MOBI. Shop now at the Jsovirall store.